The ongoing interventions of the Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes project have begun to show promising results at the Jos Wildlife Park. A key ecological and tourist site in Nigeria is beginning to have a resemblance of what a true park should look like. Launched to enhance climate resilience and promote sustainable practices in various sectors, including wildlife conservation. Before the ACReSAL project interventions, many areas of the park were struggling to support wildlife due to habitat loss, with offices at the brink of collapse and beyond repairs, while toilets and other facilities were also at the state of this repair.
At Jos Wildlife Park, we also have other projects like remodeling of all the Jos Wildlife Park in terms of offices there, in terms of also providing water supply in that place. Before, if you get to Wildlife Park, you hardly get water to drink. But as I talk to you now, we have drilled 3 solar-powered boreholes within the park, where the nearby communities are also benefiting. The fun seekers and people who troop to the wildlife park will also enjoy the facilities, and also the animals, like elephant, for example. It needs to be bathing inside water, and there is provision. And unfortunately, there was no water for it. And so you know that is not part of the requirement for the survival of the animals. So now if you get to wildlife park, you see the elephant that is there bathing, enjoying the water, and of course so many animals are now having enough water to drink. And also for people who go there to seek funds, also get water. So Wildlife Park Jos now is a different story now, a story that is positive. And I'm sure also part of why this wildlife park is given attention is that, once the place is put in place and number of animals increased, and then the place is beautified, aesthetic beauty, so many people will be trooping into the Jos Wildlife Park, and thereby improving the revenue of the Plateau State government. I think these are part of the ideas that we have given Wildlife Park a facelift.
This particular long building here, which is the administrative block, is remodeling that we're having to do here. If you notice carefully, you will see that we have introduced columns both in the front and at the back. The obvious reason is that if you watch carefully, you will notice that there seems to have been some cracks that ran right through all the internal walls. So we introduced columns at the back and in the front here. And then we now link them up, each level of column, both front and back. From here, we then have the store, which is down that side there. It was also an old building, but we had to bring that one down completely to raise a new structure. And then the generator house is a new building. And then the other office is the head of sections, offices. There are 6 offices there, at least with their, 2, 3 this way, 3 that way, with their toilets and that. So that's basically what we're doing here. So we're expected to construct as we are doing here now. Then we'll do the finishing, external works, and then we will furnish and we'll hand over.
The fencing of the Jos Wildlife Park is another great achievement by ACReSAL in conserving and providing security, as well as restricting animals from grazing in the park.
I can tell you that one of the very most important interventions of ACReSAL on the plateau is the fencing project that is currently ongoing at the Jos Wildlife Park. That project was conceptualized by this office, and the idea was shared to the government, and the government 100% accepted that ACReSAL should intervene in that place. If you have been a fun seeker and you used to go to Jos Wildlife Park, you agree with me that over time, that edifice, that place has been bastardized. Through the poaching, people going there to hunt the wildlife that are there, people go there to cut down the trees, people go there to do all sort of activities, including mining, and they have made the place an eyesore. So we felt that how do we protect that edifice? And when we made a case to the government and also as well to the World Bank, we make a provisions for total live fencing of that project. It was graciously granted. And part of the reason is to protect that area. You know, part of the intervention of ACReSAL under component 3 is to protect ecosystem. And if you get to the wildlife park, that is where fauna and other groups are interacting. So we ensure that that area is protected, is conserved, so that there will be no further bastardization by people that come, influx of people that are doing all forms of illegal activities. Where would they get in again? With this fencing. And we have provided access gates across the fencing where there will be surveillance by the park guards. The park, they have their own guards who carry out surveillance, who carry out inspection of the place. So not just the fencing, we also had agroforestry establishing that to reclaim some of those trees that have been chopped down, that have been destroyed by people who are looking for firewood. Right now we have planted about 15 hectares of agroforestry or windbreakers to protect the area.
We are providing a total length of 17.1 kilometers fencing at the wildlife park. This is with a view of protecting the entire landmass of 1,048 hectares. That landmass has a lot of trees, grasses, and also the biodiversity experience there is of great challenge. So we discovered that without the fencing, people are cutting down trees. People are also impacting negatively to the lives of the animals in the wildlife park. So far, we have 3 contractors working to address this challenge we're having. And all of them are doing excellently well, giving us the quality of work we want. And the design of that fence is such a way that it cannot be affected by pressure of the wind or whatever. It has been designed to withstand the pressure of whatever that is going to affect it, so that it will be of long-lasting project that will be benefiting the wildlife. So this wildlife fencing, we have 3 contractors, and all of them have reached over 70% completion. In fact, the contractor on lot 3 has reached 95%. And what he's currently doing now is the installation of the barbed wire on top of the fence. And then after that one, he will go into installation of electricity to make sure that those wires are electrocuted to prevent thieves from going into the wildlife park to cause damages. So those fences by the 3 contractors will prevent intruders from stealing whatever is meant for the wildlife park, because there has been a lot of experience. A lot of cages have been cut off, the iron barricades have been cut off by thieves, and it has affected the wildlife park because most of the animals now have access to escape, and it's affecting the community. So that fencing too will help in addressing the issue of escaped animals like the lion. Sometimes you have cases where gorillas too escape. So if the fencing is not provided, they can easily get to the nearby community and cause harm. So with the fencing, any escaped animal will not have access to the community. So you see, this is the essence of doing this fence. We also have issues of renovation of offices. Most of the offices at the wildlife park have dilapidated. They have dilapidated to the extent that once it is raining, all the tables will be shifted to one side because water is affecting them. There is a lot of drop in the office because the roofings are not good. They have dilapidated. So we are renovating them, all the offices, the museums, the gift shops, they are under renovation. And that will also enhance the capacity of the wildlife in engaging or having visitors that will be coming to buy gifts or see a lot of things at the museum that have been packed here. We also have the issue of road network. Road network or the wildlife park is not in good state at all. Water moves anyhow. Once it rains, there is flow of water indiscriminately, causing degradation of the land. So now the design is ongoing to address the issue of roadworks. We are going to increase the capacity of wildlife park through these designs. And once the road is designed and constructed, it will give the wildlife park a facelift that tourists will be glad to be going there to see the animals that are there. Also at the wildlife park, we have provided surface tank where water will be stored and distributed to various offices for usage, for domestic usage. So we have all these provisions at the wildlife park to make sure that wildlife park has a facelift in all ramifications. When it comes to the issue of animals, you see them doing well. When it comes to the issue of their cages, which is going to be, the renovation will soon commence, you see a lot of changes. They also have the issue of the offices, everything in the office, even the lighting. We're going to provide solar powered lights where the environment will be lightened for brightness in the evening times. We also have the exit points of the wildlife park. We are providing the exit points with security houses such that whoever is coming in can come from different directions and must be attended to pay before coming in. Initially, wildlife park is not making the money they need. The revenue generation was very, very poor. But with the fencing that we have now, it is going to increase the revenue generation. But because whoever is going into the wildlife park must pay the fine that is required of him before he can go in and see the animals that are packaged in the wildlife park. So all these activities that we are doing in the wildlife park will improve the lives of the animals. The biodiversity will be improved, okay? The greening of the environment will also be improved because there will no longer be cutting of trees and shrubs that are within the park. And before you know it, in the next 1 or 2 years, there will be very good greening. And with such greening, the environmental degradation will be addressed. And that is our aim, to address those degradations.
Right now, I want to say that we are actually, thankful to ACReSAL for coming into our rescue in terms of intervention. And those interventions that ACReSAL are providing touches in the area of provision of water, which right now we have about 5 boreholes that have been dug for the provision of water. And then we have the area of protection as well, which we have the fencing of the perimeter of Jos Wildlife Park, which the perimeter covers about 8 to 12 square kilometers. And the whole of this 8 square kilometer is being fenced, which in essence is providing protection for both the flora and fauna and then the facilities that is within the reserve. Then we also have the dilapidated structures that are almost giving way before the coming of ACReSAL. Right now we have a museum, having a different look, a first look of standard museum. We have our administrative block. We have our stores that we are not really in order for the keeping of dry food and then perishable foods. They are being renovated. And then we have other facilities too that are being renovated. So we are thankful to ACReSAL.
The project has also prioritized community involvement, recognizing that local populations play a crucial role in wildlife conservation. Through publicity and enlightenment programs, ACReSAL has engaged local communities in sustainable practices that benefit both the environment and their livelihoods. Local farmers have been sensitized in agroforestry techniques that promote biodiversity while enhancing agricultural productivity. Additionally, community members have been encouraged to participate in wildlife monitoring and conservation efforts, fostering a sense of ownership and responsibility towards the pack. The ACReSAL project has also focused on promoting sustainable tourism as a means to generate revenue for the pack and surrounding communities. With the remodeling and renovation of animal museum, parks, restaurants, cafe, kitchen, bar, chalets, tractors garage, workshop, and renovation of 3 public toilets have been upgraded to an eco-friendly facilities. Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, the executive governor of Plateau State, has, in a bid to access the ongoing project by ACReSAL Plateau at the Jos Wildlife Park, he toured various sections of the park, including the perimeter fencing and recreational areas. During his visit, Mutfwang emphasized the importance of wildlife park in promoting biodiversity and attracting tourists to Plateau State.
Standing here in the wildlife park, a facility of 17.1 kilometers, we are almost 85% done with the fencing of the wildlife park, is one of our legacy assets, which was started by the late J.D. Gomwok. We have a duty and a responsibility to preserve it, protect it, and make sure that it is sustained for the future generation. This is one of the only 2 urban wildlife parks in Africa. The other is in Kenya, and we are determined to make this the focal point of our tourism initiative. Even in its dilapidated state, it has become a center of attraction for tourists, for visitors. But we want to restore it to its full glory and modernize it to the point where people can come, even from outside the country, to come and have a look at the facilities here.
Tourists visiting the park are now enjoying the local ecosystem and the importance of conservation efforts. This has not only enhanced the visitor experience, but has also increased the park's revenue, which can be reinvested into further conservation initiatives.
أنا وجدت نيجيريا كما كنت أتوقع بلد جميلة.
I am a businessman who came to Nigeria and decided to visit the park, and it's very good. I am grateful coming here. Some of the animals I have never seen them before. I really thank Allah.
Okay, so I've seen a couple of new buildings. There are some that were not here the last time I was. Like, there are some that if you see, though they've not been finished, but they are working on a lot of buildings. They are emerging buildings so far, so I think that's the news I've seen. Okay, so I would like to thank ACReSAL for the project that's going on right now, because I know that when they are done, things will be a lot better and look a lot better. First of all, the fencing around, then the emerging buildings that are going on. I know that they are putting in efforts to make the place better. So I think that when they are done, it will look and be a lot better.
It's been a while that I visited here, and there are a lot of changes though when I came now than before. When I came, I was even saying like, oh, I didn't know that this place was furnished like this, and and then it's quite nice seeing it now than the last time. Before there were there were structures, but it was not as beautiful as this, and they look so nice, and I really love to take pictures. Thank you to ACReSAL for this new developments that is going on here. It's really nice and it's beautiful, and I feel it's going to be a nice place to be. And I just want to add something that maybe you guys can see it and add to it. So there is a swimming pool there, and I think that too needs to be developed and worked on.
A kowane lokaci na samu time ina dan zuwa dan huta saboda dan wani pressure haka.
Sometimes when I have the time, I do come around to ease the pressure here at the park. 3 months ago, I came to the park. This time around when I came, I discovered some changes that has made the park better.
Shi da na zo na gani ya fi na da. Saboda na zo na samu an yi fence, an yi katanga,
which include fencing the park completely, as well as new buildings. I can also see the animals having enough water with their surrounding well fixed.
Gaskiya abin ya burge ni.
Honestly, I am excited.
Abokanai na wanda suke dan son su huta da sauransu.
Some of my friends who want to take time out, I will advise them to come to the park because the place is very nice. My appreciation goes to ACReSAL for the effort they have put in to change the park, which will bring about development.
The air here is nice to breathe. You know, you can just keep in touch with nature, and the painting all around, in fact, it's almost as if you are in a different place. Well, like these round huts that I'm seeing, they are gift shops. I like the fact that the stonework is still maintained, because the truth is it's very difficult for you to get good stonework. The painting is really lovely, it's very attractive, and personally I love yellow a lot, and I can see a lot of yellow, it's nice. I'm also really very impressed with the fact that a toilet is being constructed, because before, when people come to Wildlife Park, you really want to go, you will just find one place and do free to air, and it's not nice. But look at the toilet. In fact, look at the door of the toilet. It's so I'm really impressed. For me, in any public place, the convenience is the best place, and I'm really happy that a convenience has been set up. So no more free to air, please. I'm happy with the quality of the roofs that are being used, the material. I'm happy that constructions are taking place. It was almost before, it was like the group of monkeys, the pines, and then the trees. But now there are structures, the work is ongoing, it's really looking really nice. With these structures, believe you me, like I said, by the time they're around huts, people can come here, not just for, you know, before when you come, the only place for picnicking is under the pine trees. But I can come close to the crocodile. Not just that, I don't know if you've noticed that there are trash baskets almost everywhere, because at some point it was almost as if this was assistant dustbin. People eat and dump things everywhere, but you see, people are using the trash containers, which for me is really nice. Well, I want to say thank you to ACReSAL. Thank you so much. They say the reward for hard work is more work. Thank you, ACReSAL, for doing such hard work, but we want more. We want more, ACReSAL. We really want more. Thank you for doing so much. It's making, I really want to bring my children here again. I want them to come and see, and I want to be bringing them, like, if you allow me, fortnightly, because every time you come, there's something different. and there's something new. So thank you, ACReSAL.
As the ACReSAL project continues its interventions in Jos Wildlife Park, stakeholders remain optimistic about the long-term benefits of these interventions.